What's up? What's up? Back at it once again, a Koski of Fun Day. And this is a continuation of African women and Pan-Africanism and resistance. And this is an interesting story that I ran across, and I'm going to give a little backdrop. Many of us in the African diaspora know about Queen Hazinga, who battled the Portuguese for almost 60 years until her death. Now, after Queen Hazinga died, the Congo was still in disarray. The Congo, and Angola was still in disarray. The one who took up the mantle was a female named Kimpa Vita of the Kongo. Now, she took up the mantle, and she was a Christian, an Africanized Christian, because you get a lot of people over here in the African diaspora talk about, well, Jesus wouldn't have done that, and Jesus wouldn't have done this and the third. But there's a plethora, and I mean many, many, many RGB Africanized movements that was under the religion of Christianity. Marcus Garvey being one of them, even though people want to fiddle-faddle and mess around with that. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get to the story. After Queen Hazinga had passed on, she picked up the mantle. Another heroine that was revered in our country was Kimpa Vita, 1684 to 1706, also known as Dona Beatriz. In the early 18th century, she urged the people in the ancient kingdom of Congo to rise up against the influence of the Portuguese missionaries who were suspected of undermining local royalty in favor of the European powers. At the time, Congo was in the grip of a civil war sparked by rivalries among provincial princes who were at each other staking a claim to the throne of Pedro IV, a weak king under the missionaries. The people were exhausted by the chaos and the famine caused by the never-ending conflict. In 1704, claiming to have been requested in a dream by St. Anthony to reunite the kingdom, this young lady, some 20 years old, a member of the prominent Ba-Congo family that had converted to Christianity and was originally from the province in the north of the present-day Angola, instigated an uprising that by triggering a vast movement of political and religious dissent. She launched a countrywide crusade that was followed by thousands of the faithful. Preaching in villages, she appealed to the king to end the war and return to San Salvador, the capital that had been razed and deserted. Kimpa Vita's message was simple. The whites were arming the rival princes in order to participate the collapse of the kingdom and seize Congo's riches. In a rousing speech, she even criticized the racial hierarchy taught by the church and urged the people not to be intimidated by the Europeans, arguing that saints in heaven were not all white, as claimed by the priests, for some was black. She spoke of Christ as a universal figure who could have easily been born in the Congo, the true holy land of the people of the Congo. The people therefore should unite and prepare to return to a strong monarchy that could protect the country. Within 2 years, the Antonian church code established by Dona Beatriz had drawn thousands of followers from the grassroots sections of the population and from the elites who began to leave in the Catholic Church. The rise of this messenger was tailored to Christian religion to fit the new Africanized church, greatly irritated the missionaries, not at least because it threatened their position in the country from which they divulged huge privileges. It was necessary for them to discredit her in order to weaken her power. The opportunity to do so arose when Kimpa Vita gave birth to a child that she claimed, she herself being a virgin, was the work of the Holy Spirit. The missionaries urged Pedro IV to declare Dona Beatriz a heretic. The young woman was captured in the scrubland where she had taken refuge and burned alive on the 2nd of July, 1706. Now, while this is important for us to remember that, because this movement didn't stop with her death. It kept on going, and it also reached the new world in the African diaspora. According to Thomas, John Thornton, the Congolese who wrote the Congolese St. Anthony, Dona Beatriz Kimpa, in the Antonian movement, 1684 to 1706, and you can get this in the International Journal of African Studies, volume 31, number 3. 1998. I apologize for that. 1998. And he states, the opportunity to examine the report of Marcelo Arti, who was in charge of the apostolic mission and one of the eyewitnesses of the event, provides Thornton with the possibility of presenting the new work on this subject. The author's declared aims is to introduce the main known facts to the non-academic public, especially including Afro-Americans who, Thornton believed, have forgotten their Congolese roots. The presence of Congolese slaves in the Stono Rebellion in South Carolina in 1739 suggests a relationship with Kimpa Vita movement. Therefore, it is Thornton's opinion that it's necessary to make this phenomenon known, which may also be kind of a legitimation of the Congolese heritage in the United States. So the Christians there that started the Stono Rebellion in 1739, one of the largest slave revolts before the Civil War, you understand? Before the United States even became a country, was led by Africanized Christians from the Congo, trying to, RGB, setting up their own country, doing their own thing. But also, this movement never really got stumped out by the Portuguese in Africa. As we take another look at it, the Antonian prophet movement outlasted her death. Followers continued to believe that she was still alive. It was only when Pedro IV forces took San Salvador in 1709 that the political force of her movement was broken, and most of her former noble adherents renounced their belief and rejoined the church. Some hinted of the strength of her teachings may be a glimpse of the fact that 18th century Congo religious art often shows Jesus as an African, and that St. Thomas was known as Tudo Malawa was very prominent. More recently, some see the present-day Kabingoism as a successor. Now, Kabingoism is the movement that happened in the Congo before Patrice Lumumba got going on. That was another RGB movement, that we got to talk about, read by Simon Kabingoism, that we got to talk about. It's not going to be talked about in this video, but it need to be talked about. Where he got the stuff from was from her, Dona Beatriz. The tradition circulating in Maza Congo, formerly El Salvador, in 2002, also placed great significance on the role of Beatriz's mother as an inspiration for the prophet, and also playing a role in its continuation. And it's the fact her mother was present in the aftermath of her demise. So a mother, just like Jesus, and Mary, and her mother Mary was there when she got, when he got put on the cross, allegedly. Her mother, for Beatriz Vita, was there when she was burned at the stake. Now, she raised a movement that lasted to the New World and lasted deep into the 20th century. And this is a queen that needed to be exonerated and put on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? So much love to y'all for listening. Much love to y'all for watching. And subscribe to the channel. Peace.